There's some information that I got a hold of about a year ago that I think truly changed my life. The hedgehog concept. And just said I finally realized what it all means, what I should be doing. We had a top internet marketer, went home the next day, called his partner and said, I'm no longer going through with what we're doing. Okay, what I'm going to go over with you guys today, what I'm going to start with, is some information that I got a hold of about a year ago that I think truly changed my life. You guys want to hear that? Okay, come on, you got to be more excited than that. I mean, it changed my life. All right, great. Here's what we're going to learn today. The hedgehog concept. Went over this at our 2007 Figure Business workshop about 3 weeks ago. Had a couple of people in tears when we went over this. They came up to us and just said, I finally realized what it all means, what I should be doing. We had a top internet marketer, went home the next day, called his partner and said, I'm no longer going through with what we're doing. And he's pursuing another passion. It's powerful stuff I'm going to go over with you. It's by Jim Collins, and I'll recommend the book for you in just a minute. We're going to talk about laser-focused productivity, then we're going to get into maximizing profits, and then we're going to wrap it up with marketing funnel and knowing your metrics and how important that is in your business. So it's a lot of stuff, and we're going to go fast. You guys ready? Okay, let's do it. Write this resource down. Good to Great by Jim Collins. That's recommended reading. Highly recommended. I also recommend that if you purchase this on Amazon.com, you also go to eBay's site called half.com, Half.com. Purchase this in the audio version. It's a little bit more money. I recommend getting both. Get the audio version. Jim Collins, the author, reads the book. His spirit comes through in the book, and it's like a $10,000 mentor that you're getting for $19. It's an absolute must. You can download the MP3, put it right onto your iPod or whatever you want. Okay? Jim Collins says, good is the enemy of great. That is very powerful words right there. Good is the enemy of great. Meaning you don't want to be good at anything. A lot of people that don't have success are good at a lot of different things. You really, truly want to be great at one thing. And settling for mediocrity is a real tragedy. And there's some reasons why we settle. We're going to get into that. Who here has ever heard of the BHAG? Okay, what does it mean? Your hand went up first. That's right. A big, hairy, audacious goal. Okay? A BHAG are set with understanding and not bravado. It means your ego is not involved. It goes with deep understanding what your true potential is based on certain things about you. It fits squarely into the 3 circles of your hedgehog concept. We're going to get into the 3 circles. It's going to be very powerful stuff for you guys. BHAGs have a long time frame. It can be 5 years, should be like a 5-year, even 30-year goal. Okay, it's not necessarily, a 30-day goal. Hey, I want to do $5,000 on launch day for something like that. There's a bigger picture involved, and it really gets you thinking because it's not about money at this point anymore. It's clear, compelling, and easy to grasp for you. That means you understand it. A lot of other people don't have to understand it, but it's built around your core abilities. Okay? And it directly reflects your core values and your core purpose. Okay? The hedgehog concept. Here's the question. Are you a hedgehog or are you a fox? It's a little story. See, the hedgehog really knows just one thing very well. The fox is very intelligent, knows many, many things. It's very sly, tries out different things all the time. It's trying to capture the hedgehog. It's smarter than the hedgehog, runs up to the hedgehog. Every day the hedgehog says, here we go again, when's he going to learn? The hedgehog rolls up into a ball and throws out its spikes, and the fox comes up and pricks its nose and yipes and goes running away. And then the next day the fox says, okay, now I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide behind this tree, and I'm going to pounce on the hedgehog. And the hedgehog sees him jump up, and he says, it's not going to learn. The hedgehog rolls up, put his spikes out, fox lands on him, yipes, goes running away. Goes on and on and on and on and on. See, the hedgehog knows one thing, and it does it well. It's not distracted like the fox by all these different things that the fox gets involved in and tries new things all the time. A fox knows many things. The hedgehog knows one big thing. Foxes pursue many ends at the same time. They're scattered and diffused on many levels. Hedgehogs simplify everything into a basic principle or concept that unifies and guides everything that it does. Hedgehog sees what is simple and ignores the rest. Your concept should be based on one or two single metrics, simply. For instance, increase the return on investment of each visitor that visits my site and increase the profits made per new customer acquired over time. And that right there is a hedgehog concept, simplified. Two little metrics that are in your business that you're focusing on all the time. Every time you go into the office, you're always focusing on, how can I, in this particular example, how can I increase the return on investment for every visitor that comes to my site and increase the profits per customer over time? And when you focus on just those things, crystalline, everything else you can put aside. You can sometimes decide if certain opportunities that come your way are more of distractions than they are opportunities. Your hedgehog concept should be a crystalline concept that flows from deep understandings about the intersection of the three circles. Here are the three circles of the hedgehog concept. Circle number 1. It's what you can be the best in the world at. Okay, now, there's something very important here I want to mention about this. Okay, you can be the best in the world at something you might not even be aware of right now. Okay, you have core abilities, things that you do very, very well, things that come very easy to you, things that people have always said, man, that comes so easy for you, it's always been difficult for me. And you say, yeah, it's been like that ever since I've been a kid. This particular thing always comes very easy to me. A hedgehog concept is not the goal to be the best. It's not a strategy to be the best. It's not an intention to be the best. It's a plan to be, or a plan to be a best. It's an understanding of what you can be the best at. Okay, so it's not a goal that you set to be the best at something. It's understanding what you can be the best at. Some very important questions you need to ask yourself. Also, it's knowing what you cannot be the best in the world at. Guys, sometimes we have to face the brutal facts. Certain things don't come easy to us. Some of us are creative. Some of us are logical. Some of us are good with math. Some of us are programmers. Some of us are copywriters. Okay? Anybody can teach you to become a copywriter. However, we have to be brutally honest with each other sometimes and say, can I be the best copywriter in the world? Do I truly believe that? And if you do, that's great, but we're still not done yet. Just because you have a core competency for something does not mean you can be the best in the world at it. Okay, maybe your programming comes very good to you. Maybe copywriting does come good to you, or math. Just because you have a core competency doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the very best in the world at it. Okay? And what you can be the best at, as I said, may be something that you're currently not engaged at. It's like, okay, so keep that in mind. Number 2, this is circle number 2. What drives your economic engine? Okay? Discover the single denominator, profit per X, as we were saying before with the hedgehog concept. What you really want to start looking into is breaking your business down into these small, different metrics. For instance, in the book, Jim Collins, he goes over 15 companies that made it from good to great. And I'm not here to tell you about the criteria, but one of the companies was Walgreens. And they had a single metric that they built their entire company on: profit per customer visit. And that's what they measured all the time. Their entire focus was, how can we make more profit per customer visit? So they tracked all that type of data. And when you start understanding what drives your economic engine, it gets rid of all the clutter and all the filter, and you can start looking at some key metrics in your business to start making a profit. Circle number 3. What you are deeply, deeply passionate about. Deeply passionate. And what that means is that when you wake up in the morning, you get out of bed and you say, life is great. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm getting up and I'm about to do something and I'm going to get paid to do it. I would do this if they didn't pay me. And I'm getting paid to do this. I'm getting paid to make money. See, the opposite is when you just wake up with that sick feeling in your stomach and you're like, oh man, I got to head into work, my boss is a jerk, I hate what I do, customers suck, all this type of nonsense. Customers don't suck. Man, we're in the wrong industry if we ever say something like that. Focus on activities that ignite your passion. The idea is not to stimulate passion, but to discover what makes you passionate. That's a profound statement. I don't think that people can really be motivated to something that they're not passionate about. The car business. You guys got to go out and motivate your salespeople. Come on, Mike, go out, motivate these guys. People shouldn't have to be motivated. When you're passionate about something, you just want to be part of something great. You're told something halfway through and you're like, I got it, don't worry about it. Well, I didn't even tell you your pay plan yet. No, that's okay. I'm sure that'll all work out. I'm just glad to be here. I'm just glad to be doing this. All right? So the idea is not to stimulate passion. You don't want to try to get yourself excited about something. It's to discover what makes you passionate. Okay, let's tie them all together. What we're seeing here are the 3 circles. What you're deeply passionate about. What drives your economic engine, meaning there's an opportunity to make money in this marketplace. And number 3, what you can be the best in the world at. Those 3 things intersect right here. It's the intersection of the 3 circles. That's your hedgehog concept there. Okay, this is powerful stuff, guys. Very, very powerful. I'm putting it into 10-minute chunks here, but I really recommend you get this book. It will change your life. I hope and I know that this message is getting through to some people. We're going to talk about the difference of chasing opportunities and just chasing the money and all these different things. But when you can find the intersection of the 3 circles here, if you can drive towards the intersection of the 3 circles and translate them into a simple crystalline concept that guide your life choices, then you have a hedgehog concept for yourself. Just want to be very clear on this. My friend Brad Fallon, took him 18 months to develop his hedgehog concept. This is not something that you just fill out, a formula on a piece of paper tonight when you get home or tomorrow, and then you find out what your hedgehog concept is. It comes from a deep understanding, being honest with yourself, asking yourself questions. Does everybody agree that if you're not passionate about something, you shouldn't be doing it? Right? If you have 2 out of 3 of these circles here, guys, there's a lot going to be missing from your life. Imagine being very passionate about something. You can be the best in the world at it, but you don't understand the metrics of the business. Or there's no money to be made in that particular market. There probably is. You probably maybe haven't figured it out just yet. Think about that. You love what you do. You're good at it, but you can't make money. That's very frustrating. Let's say you're passionate about something, and you're making money at it. I mean, there's money to be made. You see a lot of other people, but you're not good at it. Right? Sometimes you got to be brutally honest with yourself. It's not your hedgehog concept. You love it. You see everybody else making money at it, but it just doesn't work with your core abilities. It's just not part of your hedgehog concept. It doesn't come to you just like that. And finally, you're very good at something. Very good. People just are always telling you, man, that stuff comes easy to you. You make a lot of money at it, but you wake up every morning and you hate what it is that you do. What kind of life is that? So understanding these three circles and looking at the intersection of these three circles and finding out what it is that will develop your hedgehog concept. That, making money, guys, is only one thing, but being passionate, waking up every single day, and truly saying to yourself, this is a blessing. This is a blessing. Everything around me, the people I'm associated with, health that I have, the family that I have. There's a lot more to it than just a dollar sign. Agreed? Okay. So, a fox. Stop chasing the money. If an opportunity comes along, don't act like a fox. Right? We see opportunities all the time. Here's a screenshot where I made $74,000 pushing these 4 different buttons, etc., etc., etc. No disrespect to anyone. I'm making examples. With AdSense, what you do is you write these articles and you publish it, and you make money per click and all these different things. Well, there's a lot that goes into that. You got to create content. I had a lady that said to me in Las Vegas about a year ago, she says, Mike, I don't want to create products. I don't want customers. You know what I want to do? I want to write. I just want to write. I just want to put articles out on the internet. I want to share information. And this AdSense stuff made so much sense to me. I don't necessarily know if butterfly marketing is what I want to do, because that involves customers and things like that. She was starting to understand something. She was starting to understand that money could be made in many different ways, but you really need to find out what you're good at and what you're passionate about. Okay? I know a lot of people that, that chase the AdSense dream. The people that did really well with it or are doing really well with it really understand it and are providing value and putting out true content out on the internet. The others are just spamming the search engines and making a quick buck, but in a year or two they'll be on to something else. Are they hedgehogs or foxes? Foxes, right. Determine if the opportunity will work within the 3 circles or your hedgehog concept. If yes, consider the opportunity. If no, then with discipline, turn your back on it. I had an opportunity to work with another internet marketer in November. My cut, $200,000 a month. I looked right at the table in his backyard and said, no thanks. He says, Mike, do you understand what you need to do? You just need to do this part of it and everything like that. I'll take care of all the rest. And I said, no, sounds good, Rich, but I'll pass. Thanks. And he says, okay, I appreciate it. And I explained why and everything like that. And when I explained why, he understood. See, it would have been very easy for me. I would have been very good at it. Certainly, it would have drove my economic engine, but I just wasn't passionate about getting involved in that particular industry. It would have been a distraction to me. I'm passionate about other things. Every single time I would have had to get involved in that, it would have been a distraction. See, it's not always all about money. Okay, what's the difference between $4 million and $6 million, right? What if I made $20 million and I woke up every morning and I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I have a warehouse of items I got to ship and the phone's ringing and I can't take a vacation and I had to cancel my World Internet Summit vacation and all. Who cares about the $20 million like that? Who needs a life like that? Okay, so determining if the opportunity will work within the 3 circles. It didn't for me. Or your hedgehog concept. If yes, consider. If no, then turn your back on it. Stay on course with your vision. Okay, you set out to do something. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Stay on course. Stay focused at the course at hand. Learn this expression from Tom Beale. Identify and align. Study who's the best in the industry that you want to be part of. Identify that person. whether it's the person to beat or the person to identify with, whatever the case is. Identify that person. Become a student of their life and their business. Know everything about this person. Not just their business strategies, but where they were born. What happened when they were 8 years old, or when they went to an orphanage, or all these different types of things. Understand their story. It'll help you understand how the mindset that got them to where they are. Become their best customer. Okay? Guys, you don't always learn from people on the outside. Okay? You need to learn not only their marketing process. There's only things that you learn when you hit the order button. But also being their best customer, if we're not talking about how to make money type of things, whatever that type of mentor is that you're looking for, their information, they put a lot of time in. They put it into courses, light courses, home study courses. If you truly want to be like them, you need to understand everything that it is that they have to teach you. Make it your goal to meet with these people in person. Make it your goal to meet with these people in person. Right now, I think I'm preaching to the choir. You guys took that step to come out and meet your mentors, okay? That's identify. Align yourself with these people. Just let it happen. Leave the business cards away for a little moment. Don't have to run up to them and hand them a business card and start spewing out. I have a product that would be great for your list, and it'd pay you 50%, and here's the JV link, and I have a flyer for you, and all this type of nonsense. And just let it happen. No expectations. You know where the person's going to be. You go there, let it happen. They'll be around. There'll be an opportunity. There'll be an elevator, as there was with Armin Morin. Or there'll be a time that they're at the bar and you notice that they're drinking whatever drink and it's getting empty, and you buy a drink and you go over and you hand it to them. And you get to know them. Listen to them. Learn more about their story. Give them the opportunity to deeply care about you and say, "So, Patricia, what is it that you do?" "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about it. Why don't we go sit over here? This piano is a little bit loud." And they get to know you. Align yourself with these people. Magic will happen when you do that. Raise the level of your game through others. Everybody agrees with this, right? If you play tennis with a poor tennis player, you will play poor tennis as well, right? Everybody know that, right? Sometimes you're playing something that you're good at with someone that's not very good at, and you're just making these terrible mistakes and faults and things like that because you're playing with people that are bringing your game down. If you play tennis with the best in the world, over time, you'll play like the best. You start playing tennis 2-3 weeks with the very best players in the world, you might not notice a difference in change. You go back, play with the average people that you've been playing with, you start blowing them away. So what does this tell you? If you hang around negative-minded losers, you're going to have very little success. They'll pull you down. Whether you think you have the positive mind to let that stuff bounce off you, it will taint your mind. Some people, whether or not they just currently don't have the entrepreneur spirit or they've been burned, unfortunately, don't live in their world. Don't let them take you down. People, anybody in this room know people like that? Yeah. What are you going to this weekend? Another one of those get-rich-quick seminars, right? Yeah, all right. Yeah, be careful. All they're going to try to do is sell you more junk that you don't need. My brother Bob got involved in that stuff. He's got a warehouse full of all these water filters and all this type of stuff. Very good. Identify and align with the successful, and you too will play at their level of success. I don't know why. I'm not here to tell you the secret formula behind that. It's just the truth. You guys probably even heard it on stage. I haven't had a chance to listen to every speaker. Unfortunately, I was outside doing some interviews and things like that. But maybe somebody has already said this weekend that your income is the average of your 4 closest friends, right? 2 guys above you, 2 guys below you, you're probably right in the middle. So how do you give yourself a raise? Start hanging out with more successful people. You start thinking like them. You get attracted into the game that they're in, and the next thing you know, you're right where you want to be. All right? Finally, and good to great, that we're going to cover today is the flywheel and putting your flywheel in motion. Okay? When you start pushing, the rotation is very slow at first. All right, now let me explain to you what a flywheel is like. It's kind of like a turbine. But I want you to picture this really big flywheel that almost goes all the way up to the ceiling here, right? Okay, and as you start pushing this flywheel, it's going to start building more momentum. And the more momentum that it builds, the more it's going to attract. But the first push, right? The first push is the one where you're pushing it, and you step back, and you're like, that thing didn't even move. And then you go back up again, and it just cracks. And then you start pushing, and you start pushing, and you start pushing, and you don't really notice anything. You're like, wow, if I stop pushing, this thing will probably just stop the very second I get my pinky off of it. Okay, so you start pushing, you build up momentum. Now you're in the build-up phase. Momentum kicks in. It starts to get easier than it first was, just to get it started. But you keep pushing. You keep pushing. Then breakthrough comes through. Okay? Finally, you're pushing, and then it's that little roll where it starts to just take on itself here, and then you're just pushing it a little bit more. Okay? And sometimes that's known as the tipping point. Okay? It starts to create its own self-fulfilling energy. But you keep pushing. And you keep pushing that flywheel. But listen to what it says here. It starts to create its own self-fulfilling energy. Meaning the success that it's having is pulling more into it. And more into it. And it's making more of the opportunities that come in happen even faster. And then the next thing you know, it's almost like that snowball that's going down the hill. As it starts going, the bigger it gets, the more snow it starts to get. It's very similar to a snowball effect. No single push was a deciding factor. When they asked the good to great companies, what was the deciding factor? What was that one thing? The good to great company said, I really can't put my finger on it. We just kept pushing that flywheel. Okay? People, as I said to you back on Thursday, people will refer to you as an overnight success. That's never the case. That's simply because you hit breakthrough. People don't remember or don't know that there was a time that you were struggling and pushing on that flywheel to get it started. They'll just see that one day everything is coming easy for you. Like it just happened to you just by accident, but it's easy for you because you're you. You're Mr. or Mrs. Overnight Success. Okay? Everybody starts at the same point, pushing on that flywheel. Everyone. Okay? You're always pushing the flywheel in a deliberate process and a consistent direction. You have an understanding of your hedgehog concept. So you're always pushing in the same direction. So here's the flywheel effect. Okay? There's really no particular start here other than the first push. The flywheel builds momentum. Step forward with consistent. The steps that you're putting forward are consistent with your hedgehog concept. You accumulate visible results. You start to actually see, wow, this is really starting to work here. Okay? And then people start lining up, and they're energized by the results, and you keep pushing, and it just grows and grows and grows upon itself. Here's the doom loop. I've been there. Disappointing results, no build-up, no accumulated momentum, no direction, no program, chasing events, chasing fads, and then a reaction without understanding. Well, it's been 2 weeks. I made 16 cents. Didn't work for me. Let's try this. The doom loop. Start again, disappointing results, no build-up, no momentum, no understanding of why it's not working. We try the other opportunity. Fox, 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 Fox. The flywheel effect, follow a pattern of build-up, Reach breakthrough by an accumulation of steps. Confront the brutal facts to see what steps must be taken to build momentum. Attain consistency with a clear hedgehog staying within the 3 circles. Attain consistency with a clear hedgehog staying within the 3 circles. Make acquisitions only after breakthrough to accelerate momentum. You have an opportunity maybe to purchase a website or opportunity or whatever the case is. It's only after breakthrough to accelerate the momentum that you currently have. You let the results do the talking, and the flywheel maintains consistency. The doom loop tries to skip buildup, wants to go right to breakthrough. How you too can become an overnight success. Implement radical changes and always looking for a miracle moment or savior. Embracing fads and engage in the latest hoopla. Again, no disrespect, but if you know your hedgehog concept, and all of a sudden, did you hear about so-and-so? Made $31,000 last month with MySpace. Really? Wow. Oh, MySpace. $31,000. Oh, that sounds great. Embrace fads and engage in the latest hoopla. Maybe MySpace is for you. I don't know that. Maybe it is. Maybe it fits perfectly within your hedgehog concept. And for some people, I believe it truly does, people that I've met. Chronic inconsistency. Hey, Jim, what are you working on now? Oh, I'm starting this other project with Bob. And so I thought you were doing something over there in a completely different market. Yeah, well, I kind of have that on the back burner right now. I met so-and-so, and we're kind of doing this thing right now. Jump right to action without thought or getting the right people on the bus. That's more in the growth phase, but I'll just touch upon it. It's very important to get the right people working with you that understand your hedgehog concept. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how good their resume is, they're just not for your company. You react to technology for fear of being left behind. Okay? You start hearing about these new types of technology out there, and you feel, I need to get this new tool, this new software, because everybody else is going to have it. And I don't want to be left behind. It just seems, look at all those screenshots of the money. Discipline is when you say, that's a great product for the right person, it just doesn't fit within my hedgehog concept. Just keep pushing my flywheel. Make acquisitions before breakthrough in an attempt to create momentum. Hey, if I buy this opportunity, website, offer, whatever this person is selling his business or whatever the case is, that's going to create the momentum that I need. Not the case. Stay the course. So it's kind of like a recap. Find what you can be the best in the world at. Get in touch with your core competencies. So, some deep questions that we're going to have to ask ourselves when we leave here this weekend. What can I be the best in the world at? And if you can't, then get out of that game. Because the best are the true success people. The best. You want to be the best. Good is the enemy of great. You want to be the best. Find your passion. That's clear. You wake up just, everything that you do, it's not work. People say, man, you work hard, man. You're working 18 hours a day. And you say, if you call that work, there's no place I'd rather be. To me, this is like playing golf 24 hours a day. Find what drives your economic engine. Understand the metrics of your business. Find that core metric and work on it. And stay focused, laser focused on that core metric. It's when other people start saying, I was looking at your business. You know what might work? If you blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're probably right, but that will start getting my flywheel going like this all over the place. I'm going to continue to do what's working because I have an understanding. One core metric is really what I need to stay focused on. Start the flywheel in motion. Start pushing. Don't get discouraged. You're not going to make all that money in a week. It's just not going to happen. Don't let the latest fads distract you off course from what it is that you're passionate about and you're good at. If you're good at something, you're passionate, you're pushing on that flywheel, have the discipline when that great screenshot shows in front of you to decide, is this a distraction or is this actually a great thing for what it is that I'm doing right now? And if it is, seize the opportunity and help push that flywheel along. And stay focused on your hedgehog concept within your 3 circles. What you can be the best in the world at, what you're passionate about, and what drives your economic engine. And if you're not in those 3 games, guys, get out now. If you're 30, you don't want to find this out when you're 50. And if you're 50, you don't want to find it out when you're 70. And if you're 20, you don't want to find it out when you're 30. You want to find it out, you want to know it right now. Okay, did you guys learn a lot from that? Cool. I'm glad you did. I hope that changes some lives here today.